Well, it's a fun story because in 1989 I was lucky to go with my oldest son and a group of kids over to Sweden and Russia. And that was part of the Washington Capitals preseason training camp. On that trip, one of the other adults is an engineer, and I asked him what needs to be done to improve the quality of skating in the Washington area. Tom Hendricks, my hockey buddy, said to me, "Why don't we build an ice rink?"
All of our employees are integral in the day-to-day operation of the facility.
You'll hear people who've been here, like me, 25 years.
10 years ago.
22 years.
16 and a half years.
Probably since birth. So the idea was that you create this facility that people would want to come to. Every time you come into the building, there's a smile on the face of the employee that's greeting you. They know you by name.
There's 3 sheets of ice here, kind of a central location.
Our ethics are very strong. We're always trying to do something better, to be more innovative.
It's kind of been a staple in this area. It seems to be a hub for a lot of leagues.
I think that's what really sets us apart from all the other businesses, as well as the other rinks in the area.
I've done just about everything that you can do here. Playing in the beer league, I ref, coached the travel team.
Things that make us stand out, things that make our building unique. And even outside, you know, we have the bricks with everybody's names in them. You really feel like family here.
We really do try and create that environment where people feel like this is home to them.
When you believe fervently in something, when you have a vision, when you have a passion, then good things happen.
I wouldn't want to work for any other company.
When you come in, we want you to have the best time of your life while you're here.
In my heart, I'm a real estate developer and I like to build things. So it was fairly natural once I stumbled onto the idea with Tom to put the pieces together. We designed the first phase of the Gardens Ice House, which is the Patrick Rink and the Resort Rink. And I wanted it to be like a Division I field house. So I wanted to make a statement right up front that this is something that's special.
Basically, it took Clay Carr pulling together a bunch of business associates we had probably built together over the preceding 10 or 12 years, 1 million square feet of commercial properties. And so we had a great working relationship. We were a group that trusted each other, and Clay trusted us, and he pulled us together and became a labor of love to try and figure out how to come up with a beautiful building that was a little bit different than most from an aesthetic standpoint.
So off we go to the races. And here we are, 25 years after we opened, but really 32 years into the history of the Gardens Ice House. And we developed the plans and went to the community, and the community said, "We love the plans, great idea. This site could work." We broke ground in December of 1995. We opened after one of the rainiest springs ever with the 1980 Olympic team. 1980 Olympic team, gold medal team. Now this was the largest group of them returning that they'd had since they had won the gold medal at Lake Placid. And here, over my shoulder, 15 of the players were here, and they played the Washington Capitals alumni. It was a great evening. In the locker room before the game, the guys all said, "Hey, I wish I had a facility like this when I was growing up." And we had figure skating the night before. So we had an Olympic weekend, and it was great fun. That process through that was not simple, but it took a lot of caring people working very hard to bring the dream to reality.
And then after the groundbreaking, when we got everything set up, I was responsible. I helped put the sound system in the building and all the rinks, and then there's some entertainment type lighting. And then a couple years in, we started an adult league, and it was Tom Hendricks and Dick Baker and I that started the adult league here that is now grown to be the largest adult league east of the Mississippi and one of the top 10 in all of USA hockey throughout the nation.
There's stuff in the building that is unique to just us, and it has sentimental value, and it's sort of their unique way of making it a special facility.
During the pandemic, we had an opportunity to serve, but we were asked by the state to partner with them. It was a terrible time. It has been a terrible time in all of our lives, and it's not over. But the Gardens Ice House stood tall. The management team came up with the protocols, worked with Prince George's County to open safely.
We always look for a silver lining out of anything that we experience in life. While it did shut our building down, we were fortunate enough to be able to provide full employment to all of our employees during that time. They were holding Zoom exercise classes, stick handling classes, Twitch, to hold our adult league players were playing NHL 2018 and having competitions then. So we were doing all these really cool things to engage our customers during the time we were closed. People had been in their homes from March through September and not getting out. And I think that while yes, COVID was obviously a very dangerous thing, staying at home and not being able to provide a safe environment for them was also detrimental too. No incidences of transmission amongst players that played here. If you go on a family vacation and you stay in a small cabin and you get all that group together, you either sink or swim, and I would say everyone here swam.
We're very proud of the way we performed during that and continue to perform during that.
It's been some rough times, but we've made it through, and we've all stand together as a great team.
Because we are family. That's what we say. And if we say we're family, then we need to act like family. Our statement is, if you're 3 or 4, or you're 83, or you're 84, or 93, or 94, we have something for you, or we'll help you start something.
At that time, I was the president, vice president, secretary, treasurer of the Suburban Skating Club of Maryland, and we were struggling badly because we were a seasonal rink. We were only open 5 months out of the year, and this was a full year facility. And so I was really interested in it. And so I said to Tom, he said, I'm looking for an ice club. I said, Tom, you got one. I got one. It's yours. And that was the start of my involvement with the rink. And we renamed the club the Gardens Figure Skating Club, and the rest is history.
I always was interested in playing hockey. Working along with Billy and their staff, there was always a room for growth and partnership with the Garden Ice House. So it has become our home.
Had 2 kids that wanted to learn to skate. My daughter moved towards the figure skating side, and my son went to learn to play hockey, and then recreation program, then travel hockey. My daughter went through private lessons, club, and now she's in college skating. I spent most of my evenings here.
When I was growing up, I was kind of seen as the outcast. I was the guy, I brought my hockey bag home with me every day, and all the kids in the neighborhood, want to know, hey, what sport is that? I was sort of new to them.
So the rink came to me and said, you've been working with the women for several years now, will you please start a women's league here? And I said, here's the rules. We're not going to be the women's league. We're going to be a division of the adult league. And we're going to have timekeeper and 2 referees at every game. And I said, if something happens to the ice, 5 hours before, you're not going to cut us. If you agree to that, then I'll develop the league. Started with 40 women spread over 4 teams, and then before the pandemic, we drafted 200 women onto 12 teams for the summer.
It's just so important, we want to grow the game of hockey. We want everybody to be involved in hockey, to show that hockey is for everyone. No matter what your background is, you can play hockey.
Nobody wants to be told they aren't good enough. No matter what you look like, what you've been through. And the Gardens Ice House, Clay Carr, Billy, they enforce that. Everybody has a chance to grow. Like, this should be home for anybody that wants to visit.
So being able to provide access to ice is hugely important. A group like the Banners is amazing. I mean, those guys are dedicated to going out and finding kids that don't typically play hockey, and providing them with life skills. I mean, anything can be taught through hockey, through sport. The ability to be a good teammate. All those lessons you learn out on the ice translates into things you can use in your life.
Until we have had everybody within a 6-mile radius try ice skating, we have failed.
And as the puck drops, the words that DC fans have been waiting to hear since 1974, the Washington Capitals are the Stanley Cup champions.
Be able to see them like me. I grew up around here, like I've been a Caps fan since literally before I could walk and talk. Went to my first game before I was a year old. To finally watch them lift the cup, it was great.
Definitely after the Caps won in 2018, there was an uptick. But I mean, it really started with when Ovechkin joined the team. And there's been an uptick for all that time. It definitely exploded.
I've waited so long. I've watched the Caps since early 90s, whenever I stopped watching the Caps. And, you know, all the heartbreak year in and year out. They're so close. And to finally see them win it, it was almost like just a weight off of your chest also.
To be able to show it to our Learn to Play kids and the Tri-City kids and the Husky kids that play here and thinking like, oh man, it's going to be crazy at the rink for the next couple of years. And it was. I mean, and it hasn't waned. The interest in the sport has significantly increased, for sure.
I remember some of the highlights of my hockey career like it was yesterday. I remember getting the game pucks in prep school. I still have them on my desk at home. And when the dark clouds come in my life, which they have, I look down and remember that there were many moments of joy. And that's what we want to give people. That time where the skater takes his or her first skate. The time when the young mite scores their first goal. The time when the geriatric wins in the geriatrics tournament. That kind of stuff that will be with them for the rest of their life. But I think they come back because they like that they've had a special experience, that we've helped them create a memory through the rest of their life.
I love this place, I love the atmosphere.
I mean, I'd love to have a junior team play here. We'd love to have a minor league team play here. All these things are great wishes, but if they're not doing the little things.
I hope we continue to be innovative, that we continue to look for better ways to do things.
I would stack our team, our colleagues, against any business.
I want to see us connecting with those communities, bringing everyone into the rink to learn how to skate, continue to fall in love with the sport, skating and hockey.
Our daily mission is that we want your visit to the Gardens Ice House to be the highlight of your day. Every guest, every colleague, every day.